Hello, 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 everyone. It is Elsid 932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. We are here for Love is Blind Denver, Season 9, Episode 12, the reunion. Wrap it up. It could have been a memo. It could have been a fax. It could have been a voicemail. You wasted my time. The only fun I had is that I got to waste my time together with y'all, who are subscribers and members around here. That was the good time that we saw it together. Other than that, please throw it away. Throw it away. Denver is problematic, not because only Edmund, y'all like to roast on Edmund. Denver is problematic for every kind of reason. And then the icing on that cake was the reunion. Absolute foolishness. Hey, Munira, glad to see you. Glad to have you here. Hey, Lady Lyrics. Hey, Quay. Hey, Toya. Yeah, happy Saturday to everyone. Happy Saturday to everyone. We are here to wrap this up with a bow and send it upstream because I'm tired. I'm tired of it. Cross country cruise her. Glad to see you. Yes, it was a great time. The watch party was the best part. Yes, Quay. We're going to keep on doing watch parties. And I don't know if the new show that's coming up by Ryan Murphy on Hulu, if we're going to do a watch party on that. At least on the first episode, I may decide to do a watch party, but I don't know what time Hulu is releasing it. I don't know what time, but I'm thinking about that. And members, we have a member live Monday night. Members, we have a Monday night, and somebody got caught, how can I say it, licking the wrong lollipop at a party while intoxicated. That will be one of the stories we are covering in our member live on Monday. So if you are not a member, I encourage you to please be a member. And those who are members, I hope you have the time on Monday. Okay? Okay. Hey, Cheryl Davis, you having an early dinner while you watch? Hey, Trey just had his dinner and I did too. So if I'm a little sluggish, I have a little bit of itis. Okay. I'm a little bit, quite full, So let's see. How are you today, Sam? How are you doing today?
I am doing great. It's a beautiful sunny day in Sin City, so I'm doing great.
Awesome. Trey, how you doing?
I am well. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I have filled my face, so I'm good to go.
Filled your face. Okay, that's what we're calling it. Okay. How do y'all want to start? Hate to go to Africa. Sam, who do you want to start with? Who do you want to start with?
I would love to.
Give me a couple.
Sure. Let's do Anton and Allie.
If stay out of people's business was name somebody, Allie needs to stay out of other people's business.
Yes. Is it okay before I dive into those, is it okay for me to just give a real quick overview impression of why I think reunion was so bad?
Go ahead.
I saw this overall as an opportunity for, whether it's Netflix, the production company, I think everybody wanted to save face in such an implosion of a season. I feel like everybody was trying to make sure that they were very covered and very careful, meaning the reunion itself, I think one of the reasons why it was such a mess is because they wanted to make sure that hour there would be no controversy. They open it up with a musical act. They've got CP in the center of it, that if things would have gotten crazy, he brought levity to it. Where they normally kind of highlight videos pull videos of certain things that were done, they made sure they didn't really touch any of that. It was
nothing from the season. No clips of, let's see how your journey from the pods.
Exactly.
None of that.
And my theory on why they didn't do that is because it was almost as if they didn't want even the potential of a lawsuit. So for instance, when we start with Allie and Anton, it was almost as if it was Allie's concern, I felt, that he might have an issue with drinking. He said he didn't. He said it wasn't an issue. We never saw clips of it being an issue. This was just thoughts she had. And I almost felt like they had the video there to pull up to show that she had concerns. But it was almost as if they had done that Anton could have easily clapped back with, okay, I don't have an issue. I never had an issue. You're asking me to comment on a video where she's talking about it. You know what? I'm suing you for defamation of character, because now in front of my family and friends, I got to try to explain something that was never an issue to begin with. And if you go down the line, they all could have said that.
Because we should have footage in the apartment of Anton going in and seeing how many count the bottles of beer on the wall.
Right.
We should be able to see that every time he went to the fridge to grab a couple beers for the week. We could have had a montage of that. We could have seen exactly who poured out the last of that tequila and threw the bottle in the trash. We could have seen that.
There it
all
is.
That.
They're all of that,
You know
and
what?
they wouldn't touch anything.
No, I was just gonna say, interject right quick. And you know what? I agree with you, Samantha. And I think I'm gonna go just the opposite way on it.
Okay.
They probably didn't show it, but they didn't do it for everybody. But they probably didn't show it because they really didn't have it in the first place. They probably never actually. They probably knew Allie was creating a smoke screen to have a reason to back up out of this. Because when you really look at it, what other reasoning did she have?
Right.
What, that he didn't make enough money?
Right.
That's it?
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. You know, so I've always felt like this drinking issue was a smoke screen to begin with, because if it really, really was an issue, she would have brought it up to him, just like she should have brought up the fact that you had a problem with him going to strip clubs. Never brought it up. Even when she was asked about it. Why did you not ever bring it up? Well, if you ain't bring it up, it can't be a big of an issue, is it?
There it is. There it is.
Can we not go to the strip club, support the strip club, and praise the Lord?
That's your choice. You know, that's your choice.
I thought it's praise the Lord in song and dance.
Right.
It was given a little bit holier than thou, because, like, how can you, like, Allie can't talk. She want to get at him about drinking. This is why I'm so strong about this. When she talked about that bottle of tequila, I kept bringing this up. Anton, he doesn't drink tequila like that. I'm telling you, he does not. He's Russian. He doesn't drink tequila like that. She drank that bottle. She drank that bottle up. Okay? And she want to act like that she doesn't drink at all. I'm sorry. I remember back when they was on vacation, everybody was sucking down some drinks.
Right.
Whenever they're in the pods, whatever, they have the little glasses. Whenever they had that gold glass, there ain't water up in there. Everybody's sucking down some spirits. So I'm sorry, Miss Thing. You're drinking, it seems like you're drinking just as much as everybody else.
Right.
Allie chimed in on keeping the ring, okay, because production pays for the ring. But we heard from Anton that he paid to upgrade that ring. So Allie chimed in that the lady should keep the ring. Are we surprised that Allie feels that way? Sam, are we surprised?
Oh, no, not at all, because there was always this aura of entitlement, you know, whether it was, and no shame in her game. Well, do you keep a messy house? I sure do. My mama cleans it up. I'm busy. I'm traveling. I'm a nurse. I'm a. So it was always this air of, yeah, no, I don't clean up. And no issues to say that she didn't. She had no issues saying that the $5,000 ring should have been a $10,000 ring. Yes, you make money. Is that going to cover my Botox? There was always, no shock at all.
Why would you admit that on national TV like that? I'm sorry, it just makes you, and it may not be true. I'm gonna give her this grace, but it just makes you sound like you're a filthy person.
Right.
Just how it sounds.
Wait a minute now. It could sound like she needs a man who can pay for a maid service as well.
Because I think the reason, to answer your question, Trey, I think it's very easy to say those types of things if in reality, low key, you're auditioning for something else. Because if you're really there for love, the love of it all, the love of your life, and what that's supposed to bring, the union between two people who through a show has met, you care about those things. You care about how you sound. You care how you are presenting. But if at the end of the day, this is an audition of sorts to platform for something different, then you know that you're playing to several eyes in that sense. And so I think that's why there was the ease of that. And that could probably be said for maybe most or all of them, quite frankly, that when you really look at the actions of them all, you can't help but wonder, but for the fact that I think you're auditioning for something else, this union makes zero sense. And that'll be the key of it all when we get there. But you understand what I'm saying?
Well, shApp is saying Allie wants to be a kept woman with a sugar daddy. If you
Sure.
are a member, I have fallen into the sugar daddy and sugar baby section of TikTok. There's lots of instructional videos there for you as to how these ladies are doing it. Okay? Okay, how these ladies are doing it. Hey, Mari M. Wonderful that you made a live. Wonderful you made a live. Trey, Allie wants to be a kept woman. Can a truck driver keep a woman in that regard?
Of course it can. There's no argument about that. Of course it can. The only issue was, well, the main issue was Anton was seemingly willing, against my better judgment, but seemingly willing to keep her in that sense. But it wasn't on the level that she thought she should be kept at. You know? So hey, you could listen. You could if you choose to be a kept woman, that is your choice. The only issue you're gonna come across is you're gonna have to find someone who's willing to keep you at that level. And don't get it twisted. Yeah, most men, they'll keep you. Even the one that got boo-hoo money, they'll keep you. But they're gonna have some rules and regulations of their own as well that you're gonna have to keep up yourself if you want to be kept. That's just fact of life. I'm sorry. You know, ain't no free rides out here. Even though people like to think that there is. I don't know why you think there is, there ain't.
Well, with it when she was asked, so are you seeing anyone? She suddenly wanted to keep her private life private. So I don't know if that's a sugar daddy's that she don't want to talk about. I don't know if that's I need to keep myself fresh and clean and mysterious for a perfect match. I mean, whatever it was, she didn't want to, because that was a simple. That was a no.
This may sound petty of me to say, but the way she talked about it, I went, that's because you ain't got nobody.
Oh no!
Oh, I didn't take it that way.
I thought she may have some bodies and don't want anybody to think, anybody in particular is special.
Right.
That's even worse. All of a sudden, say you one of those somebodies, and you see this chick that you see all of a sudden on TV, and you're hearing certain buzzwords about her, how she wanted to be kept, she wanted to treat a certain way. I'm gonna be like, wait, am I the only one? Hold on, when did we start talking? Wait a minute, I got questions.
Well, that's why you don't take timeline. That's why you want to keep your private life private. I ain't giving you timelines. I ain't giving you what they like. I ain't telling you nothing that you could have identifying information.
Then we ain't dating.
Private.
That's fine.
We are dating. It's just I don't want it in the public eye. Look at what happened. I didn't get married. All this happened in the public eye.
And if I'm the guy behind the scenes, I'm asking questions. And if things don't feel like it don't add up, that's what's about to happen.
Here's what don't add up. Okay. Here's where he should know it don't add up. Anton's new woman is in the audience. The fact that he ain't in the audience too is all the add up he needs.
Right.
Oh boy, she had something to say, but she did check her lip on it. She had something to say.
Yeah.
Yep. Anton came dressed to go out later with his girl. Okay. She was in her, I think it is a lady in a leather jacket. She was in a lovely, leather jacket. We just here chilling.
Right.
So he don't get fined. And here's the thing. Go ahead.
Was it me? Was he the only one kind of dressed appropriately for being outside?
So was Edmund, I think.
Yeah, Edmund too. But it was literally outside in some courtyard, or whatever. I'm like, okay. I don't know. This is a weird feeling I'm having watching this in a courtyard. I was scared that Mattis was going to fall down the steps. I'm just like, yo, God, why are we outside? while we outside. I literally, when she came down, I was like, oh,
Please be
somebody
okay.
go help her. Yes,
Yeah.
I was literally like, for real,
Please be
for real.
okay.
Like,
They spent the money on the location and the band and the basketball player, and that was it. Nobody from the Denver Nuggets, I guess, was available.
Oh,
We're supposed to be in Denver. The least you could do is get a Denver Nugget player. Come on now.
how did CP allow himself to be wrangled into that?
Money.
you got paid. What do you mean?
Oh, I was gonna say he must
It's a
have
check.
gotten a check for that. Okay, I was gonna say he must have gotten a check for that.
Yeah, got a
And you
little
know they
check.
have to do a certain number of appearances for the NBA. So why not? This counts as one of my
Check.
appearances. Why not?
Gotcha.
Now
Okay.
what they could do is put a couple basketball players in the next Love is Blind in the pods.
There it
Mhm.
is. There it is.
If we're talking about cross marketing, Trey, I'm not saying they're gonna
No.
find love, but I said throw some of them in
No.
there.
You're right. They're not going to find love. What we see now is going to be 10 times worse. Because if you all of a sudden see some basketball players today, I'm gonna tell you right now, automatic, I'm thinking they're here to play. Okay, they ain't taking this seriously.
That's their job,
The
is
girls-
to play.
Oh yeah, right. And you're gonna have women over there. Oh, the smart ones gonna try to secure the bag, and it's gonna be nothing but chaos.
But they won't know. See, this is why it's perfect. They won't know who he is.
I was just gonna say, would they know who they? Okay, that's just it.
Exactly. Unless they know their
Well-
voice. And I'm not talking about, the large, players where you'll know his voice. But again, I would not have a problem if we have two, underclassmen basketball players in
Yeah,
a
we
Love is
don't-
Blind if you wanna pump it out there. Okay.
No, they don't have to. They could be like an unknown that probably
Mhm.
nobody would probably know the players, whatever.
Right.
But somebody's gonna ask, "What is your profession?" What are you gonna say? You gonna lie?
I play sports. You could say you play on the D League. Come on now. Hey, Joanna, he's a big fan of the show. Well, that's wonderful. I still needed to cross over.
That's turning heads already, depending on who's in the pods. Turning heads already. Oh yeah, okay. Chaos, but maybe that's what we want to see. More chaos.
And to see if the men is going to tell on him.
Nah.
I mean, I'm just saying, y'all know how I like all kinds of weird, odd things. I would not be opposed. Not no fresh out of college player. I played maybe in the NBA for like 5 years or so. Any kind of thing like that, age appropriate. I have no problem. If we do in the over 50 group and we got a player that's recently retired, I have no problem.
What's the youngest contestant that's ever been on Love is Blind? Because they seem not to go below 25.
Yeah, I think 25. Or did we have a 22-year-old? I know we had someone real young.
I felt like 23 might have been the youngest. I don't know why that number's popping in my mind. I felt like there was someone who was as young as that, but I don't know that he went lower than 23.
I can't think
because
of
25, Irina, 25.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they might as well, because it would be nice to have somewhat of a twist that makes some sort of sense, because I think that they were, 22. That's what I thought. I thought there was something. Yeah, I'm thinking 20, 22, 23.
Well, Netflix's their website is wrong then.
Okay. Because I remember thinking, like I said, I don't know why 23 steps is in my mind at 22 or 23. And I remember thinking, oh, that's really young to have on the show. But they need to retool. It needs to be retooled. Because I feel like, Elsa, you and I were both right. Like, in my mind, why would Allie even take him down the aisle? She knew. But as you say, that is the point of the show. But the problem is, you and I are both right. Because you're correct, because that's the whole premise of the show. That's what they have said. But the flip side of it is, I was able to bear witness to a couple of couch breakups.
Yeah, I don't like those.
So when you have a mixed bag of couch breakups, some people walk down the aisle. What does that mean? Even when you have something like, I'm sorry?
I prefer the couch breakups, not gonna lie.
No, I need you to be broken up in front of your friends and family, all dressed up.
That's not about not doing it.
And diabolical, that is the show. That is the show.
I'm bucking the show. I'm not doing it.
I will make sure those contracts need to be adhered to. I'm tired of this.
They
tired of the breakup.
And still got holes for it. That's why they face so much judgment and lawsuits now. They can't do it.
Yeah,
can't do it.
They're inconsistent because they're inconsistent, and that's the problem that I'm having. That's why I'm saying all three of us technically are correct. You are correct when they say they should make it down the aisle. I think I'm correct in saying why bother, because I've seen some couch situations. Trey's right. We're all right in what we're saying, and the reason why we're right about it is because they've lost the plot. They're inconsistent with how they're even, and they're so concerned with lawsuits. Because let's be real, and I know this is just a little bit off for a second, but why would you show us the producer speaking? I think he's Blake. Why would you show us you talking to Blake and telling Blake it's up to you if you want to stage your journey? Why do we need to? It's a conversation you could have easily had. Why do we need to see that? Well, we need to see that so that you're not presenting yourself as a company that is pushing somebody to do something that they really don't want to do. So my whole thing is, so when you have the couch breakups, do you still owe $30,000 to $50,000 for breach of contract? And who's paying for what? Because Jordan didn't look like he had $50,000 to pay for that.
I'll put you on a payment plan. My thing is, this is the show, okay? We done signed up contracts and everything. Production is ready. Y'all are doing all of this. We go into the bridal thing. I have paid to have this entire, dress shop and this entire suit shop ready for you. We have wedding venues. We have caterers. We have flowers, everything done and ready. Cake ready. I need you to march your behind up that aisle. I don't care. But that's just me, because the premise of the show is to say yes or no, and your decision is at the altar. Mm-hmm. Is it going to be hurtful for many? Yes, but you signed up for a show where this is the underlining part of it. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, it may seem diabolical for people, but this is why we're watching the show, to see the decision on decision day. We're looking to see what happened. Oh my word. And then the friends and family are there. Yes, it's diabolical, but that is what we're watching the show for. Mm-hmm. That's my whole thing.
The issues that we're in the weeds with this. From the premise of the show, it has always been entertaining. We get it. But when you actually get into the throes and the mechanics of it, a lot of this stuff that they set up, it's almost impossible for them to actually follow through on it in all cases. And it's number one, it starts with the fact of how and who they either get to sign up or recruit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is the main issue with all of this that could be fixed. Let's keep it real. This is a far cry from what they had in the first season.
That's
where
right.
It seemed like people was taking it very much more seriously.
I agree.
They are purposely choosing people, based on their interview process, questionnaires, and psychological profiles, people that they know is going to bring some type of drama or issue.
Yes.
Like, that's the main reason why Edmund showed up on this show.
Yes.
They're not stupid. They can hear this man talk and be like, yeah, he probably should not be on the show, but you know what? He's going to make for great TV. Mm-hmm. And he was exploited.
And he was exploited as a result. Yes.
Point blank, period. And you know what? I'm going to give KB some bail on this. That's the main reason why they put her in position to, there was no, you was going to look bad almost out of the way you cut this.
Yeah.
Because we knew you was never going to be, the moment we heard you talk, we're not stupid. You knew you were never going to be with this guy long term. As soon as you heard him talk. Mm-hmm. But we're not done. We can see the setup of what y'all doing. You're trying to give us a show. Mm-hmm. And then you want to get upset when people react to the show.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got more than what they bargained for, though, Trey. I don't think that whether it's the production company or Netflix, I think they got more than what they bargained for, and that was apparent in the reunion. Because Edmund could have, I know we're not there yet, but just real quick, Edmund could have easily clapped back. Why are you showing videos of me kissing the floor or hiding in the cabinet of a kitchen and then trying to say I'm differently abled? I've never identified as differently abled. I've never been diagnosed as differently abled. So you know what? I'm suing you for defamation of character because I never said that. And even if he didn't say that, a friend who can get an attorney can say, oh, we suing because I didn't identify as differently abled. You made that up based upon what you saw. And so I think that across the board, that's why so many of them sounded like they had memorized talking points before they hit the couch.
Oh, we gonna get to the talking points, people. Oh, yeah. we gonna get to the AI of it all, people, because he ain't gonna live that down. The person who I'm thinking about, but I'm agreeing with y'all. The show has changed. Show has changed significantly from the first season, and I do agree with Cheryl up here. Cheryl Davis, one of our long-standing members, says, "Hey, if we enforce the rule, you got to make it up to the altar, and you gonna be fined." It's going to be the jokers ain't going to apply.
But they're not enforcing it.
They're never going to enforce it because it was always an empty threat. Half of these lawsuits that they cost, I'll put it to you this way. AD was almost in the same predicament, but they threw AD a big bone. That's how she's in the position where she is now. Look at what's happening. They knew from Jump Street that Clay was never going to get married at the end. He told them this. He told them.
He showed her too.
He told everybody, this ain't this. Nah, I ain't going to the end. You know, boom. But like you, Elsa, I'm supposed to take you to the altar, so that's what I'm going to do.
There you go.
Now, mind you, this is behind the scenes talk. Now, what if all of a sudden AD comes to the fact like, wait a minute, no, I took this seriously. I felt like, you know, we had some going, and just to find out that production and Clay, you knew from the get-go that this man was never going to take this seriously. No, that is almost grounds for defamation right off the bat.
No,
because y'all knew.
He told her to. She wasn't listening. She lied to herself too. We saw in moments he's talking to her that
we saw it. But you're right. I get you. I get what you're saying because I never would have fell for it. But we're not AD. In this situation. Thank you, Russell. She wanted to go there. This is what she wanted to do. All I'm saying is you have to be careful when you put yourself in a position that can open yourself up for certain lawsuits, this and that and third.
Right. That's
when we first heard that $50,000 fine if you don't do this or whatever, many seasons ago when that first came out, my first thought was they are never going to enforce that.
Yeah.
Because I can see the pitfalls all in it. Even if people don't win those court cases, the fact that you got to go through litigation alone hurts you. It hurts you.
I understand that. My thing is, don't sign up for the show if you're not going to fulfill all parts of the show. Okay, that's my thing. I don't like the couch surfing. I had too many breakups on the couch surfing. I feel like, oh my word, you just were, out. You don't need, per episode check. People are saying some people who went to the wedding wanted per episode check. No, but that's this premise of the show. And maybe I need to adjust and be okay with people deciding to leave before the wedding. But all I'm seeing is this part of the show is not being fulfilled. Because then all of a sudden we're going to have a ton of episodes where in a ton of seasons where nobody make it and we break up on the couch.
I'm with you on that, L. But there's only one flaw that I see in that. That would make total sense if everyone is actually signing up for the show of their own validity. They're actively going out and recruiting people.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to cut you off there because here's the thing. Even if I recruit you, you still signing the contract on your own when you decide that you want to be a part of the show.
I'm negotiating my contract.
Okay, negotiate.
Because no, like almost like a Clay situation. If I'm telling you, listen, I see what the contract said, but I'm telling you right now, if we have to amend this contract for me to sign this, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to the end. I'm not taking it seriously.
We ain't amending at the 10th hour. We ain't amending at the 10th hour.
I ain't signing up.
You need to do this now.
I'm not signing up.
But let Lady Lyric, yes, AD is now married. That's what she wanted. We do wish her and Ollie all the best. And I said in my recap, AD, you're bringing back good feelings for me because I was that pregnant when I first got married. Okay, So with the stomach sticking out in your wedding dress, some people that ain't their thing, but it certainly was mine because what here your baby gonna have your last name if I have it first, okay? But yes, we of course celebrate AD and Ollie, wish them all the best, and with their future family. Hey, what's errant traffic? Hey, let's get back because we have a lot to talk about with each of these here. Okay, Trey, who would you like to go to next?
You know what? Let's go ahead and let's talk about the non-argument that was Nick, Katie, and Annie.
Nick, KB, and Annie.
Nick, Katie.
Oh, Katie.
Oh.
Yeah, Nick, Katie, and Annie. But but mainly Nick and Annie. I thought this whole situation was funny as heck to me. Because I thought it was hilarious. Well, first, let me just start off with some chaos mess for myself, okay? I said this many weeks ago, and I still stand on this today. I do not like the fact that Nick is continually trying to apologize to Katie. For what? What is he apologizing for? Because when you really look at it, he's apologizing for nothing. Because they still didn't even actually tackle what was the real reason why he ended with her in the first place, which I found was super funny.
Because Nick got a PR firm to get together and write it out. He practiced that entire moment.
Thank you.
Nick was on point. I get it. Nick was on point.
We know you are in PR, Sam. We know Sam in PR. When it's Sam's turn, you better tell us if you wrote that for Nick.
Right. Yo, Nick was on point. He was already on point. Yes. I still don't like the apology because it's like the second or third time he's done it. I'm like, why are you apologizing to Katie? And I find it funny that y'all purposely staying away from the real reason why he broke up with her in the first place. Because let's keep it real, it touches on a subject that's good that could get sticky for them with the alphabet game. Number one. Number two, it could be even more concerning because both of those women agreed with his views. Both of them. Anybody want to talk about that? Both of them. Mm-hmm. Okay? It's madness. They didn't want to touch it. They didn't want to touch that.
Right.
And I find it even more funnier. People kind of knew they wanted to probably give Nick a little bit of smoke, mainly Katie, for no reason, because that's what I'm saying. The apology doesn't even matter. Why is Annie the one defending Nick so hard? Mm-hmm. I mean, she was one defense. I would be your shield. Let me defend you. That was like, this is strange. I was laughing. I was like, yo, Annie's coming through with the protection. Mm-hmm. Why? Probably a couple things, mainly because, she probably was wilding out a lot more than what the camera was showing. Nick knows. So, you know what? Let me play nice. Can clean this up a little bit and stay as demure as possible. Because it was crazy how she was cleaning up for our Nick. Like, she was cleaning up. I was like, okay. All right. Yeah, defend the man that didn't want you no more. That's crazy.
That you were begging to keep you. Sam, did you write Nick's apology speech that was so well played? Did you help him practice that? It looked like when politicians prepare for, a debate.
Absolutely.
I thought I heard your cadence.
Absolutely. This was media training at its best. Absolutely. And to answer the question, why did he apologize so much? Because in PR, when you don't apologize properly the first time, you've got to come back and take a second bite of the apple and do it the right way, which is you take total responsibility and you don't try to make it sound like it's something that it's not. We say in PR, tell it first, tell it fast, and tell it all. Don't give somebody else the opportunity to tell your story, and don't jam yourself up to where you've got to go back and apologize again and again. In terms of why would Annie cape for him? Because Annie is caping for herself, like they're all caping for themselves. Again, I believe in addition to the PR and the talking points of it all, there were some DM conversations behind the scenes where these folks said, look, we got to live past this show. We have to have a reputation past this show. I don't think that torching ourselves on a couch for a 1-hour show is going to be to our benefit in the future. So whatever apology I need to make, I'm happy to do so here and do so now, so that when we hit that reunion couch for another show that's going to be taped and edited, I think we both need to walk away from this looking decent to each other. It won't serve you or me to torch each other on a couch, and then we have to still figure out a way to live past this show. That was the running theme, if you ask me, for all of them. They all, and so Nick was the best. I mean, Nick's got money. I believe Nick's mama was like, attorney, media training for an hour, here are your talking points. He was on point. So much so that homegirls said, you sound like this is performative. I mean, that's just how together he had it. But they all got that, let's keep it cute and classy memo. They all got it. So caping for the person, Jordan was caping for Sparkle, but he was caping for himself, because he's still got to walk out of that show and raise a son and have a reputation. These are young people that still have 20, 30, 40, 50 years of their lives ahead of them. So let's keep it cute and classy. What do you need to hear? I am sorry. Let's not act a fool. The only one who bucked a little bit, and I think was like, I don't care, was, is it Madison?
Yeah.
She's the only one. She was the only one that kind of bucked a little bit, like was going to say what she needed to say. She was the only one that didn't kind of follow the whole, let's keep it totally cool. Although she didn't go off like she could have. But that's what I said in the beginning. Remember, guys, when I said Netflix production was very careful to not pull up any clips that anybody can pick and say, you know, you can't go back and say they were on board with the Madison, you don't have a size 2 body. They wouldn't pull up any clips of Nick saying that. You literally cannot pick anything. No one could go back. All they can say is, we know these things happen because we watched the show in its entirety, but they didn't pull highlights that Vanessa can say. So Nick, tell us a little bit more about what you meant when you said she wasn't necessarily your type. Of course not, because you don't want Madison to come back and sue and say, I told you I was halfway traumatized by those body shaming comments. Now you're going to bring it up here for the whole world to talk about. They stayed away from anything that anybody could pull up, whether it was kissing floors, eating a sandwich like crazy, supposedly drinking, I'm not a size 2, anything that anybody could come back and say that you had a tangential relationship to the insult of it all, Netflix, and we're suing you for defamation. They stayed away from it all.
They stayed away from everything. And that was Joe who was talking about Madison's weight. But
Joe.
Annie came there, her hair combed and a little bit sober. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there was even alcohol in the green room.
None.
And whoever put up that meme of Annie side by side with the bride of Chucky, you know, thank you for the chuckle. I should say shame on you. But that right there, Annie and Tiff side by side saying that she looked like Tiff, you are wild. I didn't see it until you showed it to me.
Yeah, that was crazy. You know what? And it's this may sound controversial. I don't think it's controversial at all, because we've kind of touched on this beforehand. Like, to Sam's point, part of the reason why they didn't touch a lot of this stuff was, I say, for the last 5 or 6 seasons, we have always noticed that they seem to be purposely recruiting or choosing men that was just trash. They didn't know where to put it. They were trash, you know. And some of the women were like, okay, they were trying to take it seriously. They really wanted relationships, you know, okay, but they were choosing trash men. This is one of the first seasons where everyone was kind of equal. A lot of the women had their own issues. Yes. A lot of the women had their own issues.
Oh, really?
A lot of women had their own issues.
So you're trying to say it's about even?
When you start looking at some of the trash levels, it was pretty daggone even. Because when I'm
gonna pull a trash level that was uneven.
Oh, I'm not saying it all. I'm just saying, as a collective, it was pretty even. It was pretty even. You could call issues out for just about everyone. Every person had an issue.
Yes, they did.
And the funny thing was, who you about to say? I want to know.
I'm letting you finish your statement. Go
Okay,
ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead and finish your statement. I know one that is uneven.
Okay, everyone was pretty much even. Everybody had their own personal issue that affected whatever relationship that they was in. Okay, and the funny thing is, the reunion has historically, for Love Is Blind, been a place to, let's keep it real, dump on the men, and deservedly so, because we had some men that needed to be dumped on a lot of seasons, like needed to be dumped on. Vanessa used to go ham. It was funny to see her restrained so much.
Thank you.
Even her outfit.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was weird to see her restrained so much.
Yes.
You know, to the fact that she was even very softly checking some of the women.
Yes.
I was like, what? This is interesting.
Without clips. She checking without clips.
Yes.
She don't need clips. She saw this season. She saw this season like us, was like, where did it get these chicks from? What the heck? I can't ride for y'all like I used to. I can't ride for y'all like you do, because some of y'all are ridiculous. That whole ring back. Oh yeah, we got it. When we get to them, we got to talk about that mess.
Okay, let's get to the ring.
Oh.
Okay, here let me preface this, because they're all together. I did not make a new asset for this group. I'm not going to. But here's my thing, Netflix. Okay, you got Patrick, you got Casey, you brought them after the fact. This whole ring thing. Here's my problem. Why wasn't Anna on the stage? Why wasn't Blake on the stage? I thought Blake wasn't going to be there. I thought Blake didn't get an invitation. But the fact that you had a ghoster from the show, from the pods, bringing out freaking protein ice cream, because you know what? Because somebody can't have alcohol because, they got a little one. You know that, product placement, Jordan got a product deal. So you're going to put that out there. But you also don't want to be accused of plying people with alcohol, because Anton got brought up alcohol. Annie got brought up alcohol. So this whole protein shake ice cream foolishness, and have Blake bring it out. Blake's butt needed to be on the couch explaining, why did you come to a decision to ghost? Why didn't you leave Megan a note? Blake had questions that we could have roasted him on. I don't care why. It could be, hey, I wasn't in a great mental space to continue with this. That is fine. But the fact that he got out of any kind of explanation, I think is wild. But this whole ring thing with Patrick, the ring thing is a foolishness. The basketball was a foolishness. But you know what? Y'all wanted to humanize Casey. Y'all wanted to humanize Casey because the internet is unforgiving. And we still not going to forgive her. I'm able to have 2 clips, y'all, because it was on Instagram. We can't show clips unless it's on Instagram. So let me play one of the clips before I have Sam and Trey get into it.
You on the show, you were actually in the lobby with producers. Well, Patrick, you never saw that clip until you watched the full season back. So watching it, how did that make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it was slightly hurtful to see it, just because I never really got clarity when we got back from Denver. But I already kind of had an idea as far as like why it was getting cut off. But I never really had like the full words. So just to see it was like, it was cool, but not cool, but it was
I
cool
don't think it
for the
was
most part.
cool. I mean, it broke my heart seeing it.
What heart? What heart? What heart did it break of yours seeing it? I want to know what heart, Casey, because y'all trying to humanize her. Yes, I think she got the Temu public image people, because hers, yes, she trying to be all nice and calm and sweet and whatever. It did not translate, Casey. You will forever be the lady in the lobby that could not break up with that man. Forever. And wanted to keep the ring.
Mhm.
Why did they have to pry the ring from your gnarly fingers? I'm sorry. Sam, your thoughts on this whole thing?
Yeah, so to answer what you started with in terms of when you brought up Blake and why that was, why he wasn't on the couch to answer questions, I don't think it was that Blake didn't want to or wouldn't have, because he's talked about it in other shows. You guys, Netflix didn't want that. Nick and Vanessa got marching orders. Keep it cute and keep it classy. Make sure that your questions don't dive too deep. Vanessa, make sure that people feel like they were heard. When she was tapping out, when she was having conversations and it would come to an end with the guests, it was always were you heard? Did you say, is there anything else? It was, everybody needed to be heard. I think that the reason why Blake, they didn't want to take it there with Blake, they didn't want it controversial. For the same reason Anna didn't show up. They didn't want to do any deep dives. You can't bring those two on without having a conversation around who, what, when, where, why, and how would you do that? And that was not the premise of this show. That's why with the whole ring thing, I think they didn't know where that was going to go. They didn't know how contentious it might be. So I think what they said was, okay, we're going to recruit CP so that if things get really heavy and argumentative, he will be that light, fun moment to say, hey, everybody, let's just shoot it out. Let's get this energy out. Let's do some free throws. Let's shoot this out and we be good. As it turned out, because Patrick was doing his own PR and, he had his own, he had PR points too. He wanted to look good in that. That's why it was a whole, if you could just apologize, we'll be good. If you could just say you're sorry, that will wipe the slate clean. I will accept that. I just need to hear you say that you're sorry. He was doing his own PR in that too. So I think that CP was there so that had it gotten crazy, he could lighten up the moment. It didn't get crazy, but it still lit the moment up. And I think Patrick ended up giving back the ring that he had just got. That's the whole crap show of it all, really, was all of this nonsense of it. So my thought on it when you ask about that, again, I just don't think overall with the Blake, with the Anna, you can't bring them back without getting controversial. Netflix doesn't want to do that. I think that Casey and Patrick are both trying to do their dance because they're trying to preserve their reputations. They're trying to make sure that it doesn't get too crazy with how they present themselves, how they speak to each other. Because again, like I said earlier, it feels like this DM conversation of let's not tear each other up on the couch. Let's keep it cute and classy. And I think everybody was on board with that. Production's on board, Netflix is on board, the participants are on board. I will say this, I don't disagree with you, El Cid, but you hearken back to a year and a time called 2020. When, yes, they probably had rules and regulations of what they wanted, but remember, this is during COVID. The first season was in February, I think it was Black History Month of 2020. COVID hits us in March. Now here come these conversations about mental health. How do people feel? So I think by the time you get past a season 1, season 2, there's a lot of concerns around, is it right to force people to go down the aisle? How would that make them feel? Now they start introducing these couch breakups. I mean, I think that 2025 going into 2026 is completely different than how they opened in 2020. And I think that's why we look at it today and say, we're comparing an apple to an orange. We're comparing an apple to an orange. And now they've gotten themselves so crazy, because to go to Africa is saying, this is not what I'm about to say, is not what to go to Africa is saying, but her words of marginalizing minorities sparked something in my mind. So thank you for saying that, because it was a point that I was going to want to make. I've heard arguments of when it comes to ethnic minorities, they kind of were forced to go down the aisle, but then you had groups that didn't fall into that category and they got to do the couch breakups. I don't know how accurate that statement is or isn't, but I think it goes to, once again, when you're not consistent with how you're having people break up, don't break up, go down the aisle, don't go down the aisle. When you bring all of this stuff up, you wind up with what we did on Wednesday, which, as you said, the only fun part about it is I got to see that train wreck with all of you guys, but it made the show crazy. So that's why I think
season 1, everybody everybody went down the aisle in season 1 except for the couple that broke up by the pool. Diamond and Carlton.
Diamond, yes. And
that was wild. I would not, in that instance, I wouldn't make her that. If y'all have not seen season 1, that moment would totally have Alphabet City going all over production. So they had to let that go. Totally understandable. But yes,
do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I understand what you're saying. I understand it is, everything right and wholesome with the world. Let people, have total, what they can and can't do. Let them have the decisions. The lawsuit that they had, that Nick and Danielle, Danielle's husband, all of that is part and parcel of it. But then again, people are still using the show for their own gain and popularity.
Yes, absolutely.
So there is a trade-off.
Yes.
My thing is, the only thing I kind of like side with these people on is that I don't think folks should be coming at these folks on their social media. That's or correct. Coming at them, sending them DMs and all kinds of other foolishnesses. We can say our piece here. We can say our piece amongst each other here. I can't stand this. I can't stand this about this person. I can't stand that Casey decided she wanted to keep the ring, or that Patrick is acting like a limp noodle the entire time. You can say exactly that. My thing is, don't go after these people. Let them, rise or fall of their own merit in this, social media thing, but don't go after them. Mm-hmm. But to bring it back, here's my thing. Casey, even though everybody got that memo, Sam, Casey did not help herself. Mm-hmm. Patrick was throwing her the bone that he was told to throw her in a memo, and she wasn't picking it up.
Right.
All you got to do is apologize. Right. I just need an apology from you. And she was pushing back on that apology. He even wrote it for her on the stage, or maybe he just recited what she was supposed to recite because maybe she forgot it. Right. Casey did not help herself here at all. And I'm sorry, for a long time when I was watching it, I said, I need to start. Casey was morphing into Karen for me. Mm-hmm. Because wait a minute, girl, you are the one who violated this man. Mm-hmm. You're the one who didn't tell him anything. You're the one 2 hours later, you don't want him because you're not attracted to him. We didn't even see that clip. Casey, are you okay? Because you are acting like if Patrick did you wrong. You're acting like if Patrick is, because he's running after you for, closure, he's doing you wrong. And Patrick, you don't need closure. I need you to handle that too.
Right.
But Casey is up here. It hurt me too. It hurt me. And it didn't feel good for me either. I was like, girl, we saw you. They may not show the clip, but we saw you. Mm-hmm. Casey did not help herself at all in this. At all. And Patrick is throwing her the layup, and she ain't dunking. Trey, please save us.
Save us how? Listen, I find it, another things, some more things that they didn't want to bring up. I find it interesting that no one, man, I have to put some onus on Patrick because she actually said this to Patrick. I was like, bro, are you not paying attention? When she sat up there in them pies and told him that her ex-boyfriend or current boyfriend told her to go on this show, that they would take a break for her to go on this show. So to get her social media following up.
Yeah.
This ex that now says that he was never together with her like that.
Oh, yeah, he running away from this. She phoned up the bag. What you mean?
I didn't
know. She phoned up the bag. She messed up. So I can't attach myself to this no more. I told you, go in here, get your social media up, whatever. We come back, we good. Because he was, whoever that was, he just on another show.
Yes.
He was just on the show himself.
Oh,
it was all planned, at least for her. But she dropped the ball. Mishandled it completely. Playing in this man's face. Doing that breakup, non-breakup. You played in his face. Hard.
Mm-hmm.
And you're wondering why everyone has such a reaction to you. We saw you. Like, we saw you. You had a physical reaction. Oh, nope, this ain't going to be it. Told the producers, no, I can't do it. I'm not attracted. And then set up in his face, it's not that I'm not attracted to you. Mm-hmm. I love you. I love you. What? You know, and I know everybody tried to get on Nick about love bombing. Everyone loves bombing on the show, so I don't want to hear anything about love bombing. Everyone loves bombing on the show. The show was set up for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the package. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. A lot of people are waiting on you to say the words so they can. Oh yeah, now we can hook up. Blah blah blah. Blah. Nah, it's all set up. Everyone loves bomb. So it was just like, okay, Casey, she made it easy to discover why she is unlikable. Just as a person, like, yo, all you got is a pretty face. Because here's another question. Why did you and Joe stop dating? You notice Joe stayed away from that question. He was asked.
Put a pause in that, Trey. Put a pause in that. Let's get to the next clip. Let's get to the next clip.
On the show that you couldn't quite get there with Patrick. And then after meeting everyone, ultimately, was there anyone else in the pod squad that you had an attraction to and that you maybe started dating?
I wouldn't say, like, I don't know how to answer that.
Was there somebody that, when you guys all met up, you were like, hey, and you wanted to give it a shot and date?
Yes, there was.
There was.
Mm-hmm.
Is that person here today?
Yes.
Can we ask who?
Pretty
that
sure I
person
know
is?
what the next question's going to be.
I think he's on this couch in front of me.
Edmund, you dirty dog. I'm kidding.
I know.
Joe, are you hiding behind your stash?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not big enough.
It wasn't big enough. I'm sure he's heard that on many occasions. I'm sorry. Was that too much? I'm
It
sorry.
might
Was
have
that
been
too much?
because according to the women, it ain't big enough. It's just big enough. Cause they hopping on quick. It's crazy. Joe, I can swing it.
So she was seeing Joe. All of a sudden, Casey still got the same problem. She can't just spit it out. Pun intended. She can't just say it. She can't just say, I was seeing Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Just like she can't say, Patrick, I don't want to continue this. I don't want to go on with you. She still got the same problem a year and a half later.
Yeah.
Trey, continue on. I wanted to make sure everybody saw that clip if they didn't see it on social media. Saw the clip of her still dipping, dodging, and diving about answering who else on the cast, because we all also find out she went out on with other members of the cast.
Yes. Like Casey, the longer this night went on, the more you realize how diabolical Casey was. Like, yo, you really was trying to work the rounds. Like, it was weird. Like, Joe wasn't the only one. She tried to run up. So her word is try to run up on Brennan.
Mike
too. Went on a couple of dates with him. Like, yo.
Brendan and Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was wild. Yes. Yes. No, pull that coming back up. That's the part that no one wanted to say out loud. That's exactly what the men was doing.
Mm.
It was a nonverbal communication that the men was having. Hey, bro, guess what? Here you go. That's exactly what was happening. I'm telling you. That's exactly what was happening. You know, it's kind of an unspoken thing. I'll take you behind the men's curtain. I don't care. I'm a firm believer. Hey, I give you the answer to the test. Have better tests, man. I'm sorry. Take better tests, but no. Yeah, it's a little unspoken thing. If it's something you don't really care about, whatever, hey, bro, toss up. Who's gonna catch it? Now Madison has some real smoke.
Yeah, she did.
She had some real smoke for her. I ain't gonna lie, my money on Madison if you ever go down. My money on Madison. Nah, but she had some real smoke for her. The only issue I have with her smoke is that a little bit of it is misplaced. You could tell she tried to blame Casey for the fact that Joe became uninterested in her.
Yes.
But I'm sorry, Madison. It ain't had nothing to do with Casey.
Because
You know?
every time she sees me, she squeezes me. Lady, take it easy. Come on now. That's what Casey doing to the men. Because we hear and she putting her hands on their chest and taking their soul gem. Okay?
Gotta do the double palm.
Two hands to the chest. I mean, if y'all don't know, that was lyrics from the lines from I Get Around with Tupac. Y'all saying pass around? I just think she just get around. Okay? Get around. Whether it's the merry-go-round, everybody hit your ride,
In the
she
same
getting
crew,
around.
though. I know they ain't a real crew, but it's the same mentality. You like to roll around in the same crew. Whoa. Like, okay, whatever. Okay.
Couldn't be
but
me.
yeah.
No. You need to date somebody outside of the thing, or at least don't be seen as such, because everybody's saying your hands were on Joe. They saw your hands on Brendan. They're seeing you actually physically real close up under these men. There's nothing wrong with being seen chatting and talking with them, but people are seeing you in a certain position. This is how a lady obtains a reputation.
Yes. Especially in this light, because you're just coming off of a dating show. Okay.
And these are men that refused you in the beginning.
Which is crazy until they saw her.
Until they saw what she looked like, yeah.
Because her person, let me say it. I'm gonna say it, okay? Allie and Casey are in the same boat. They look beautiful. But
Yeah.
their personality is trash. They're white bread.
So like the movie Clueless she's a total Monet.
Oh my God, like whatever. Like
She's a total Monet.
Like,
it looks real good here, but when you get closer, it's like
what is it? What's the phrase? As if. It's as if. That's what it is. It's as if. Like, yo, they are plain. You can look at them all day, but I'm a person. Yes, I would like you to be pretty because I want to look at you. But at the end of the day, that's not all what I look at. What is your substance? What substance do you have of you? When I look at Casey, when I look at Allie, they have no substance. It's a non-game for me. I would never. I can't.
So Trey, I need you to get up off of Casey, pun intended. School your boy Patrick. School your boy Patrick.
Patrick got a lot. Oh God, I like Patrick, but I kind of Patrick. He's too nice.
I'm too nice.
He is exactly what Edmund was complaining about himself to be. He's exactly what Edmund is complaining about himself to be. He's too nice. He's furious at Casey for what happened. That's the main reason why he was so petty when she was complaining about him sending that TikTok. Oh, you nothing but a side chick. Well, you kind of was. And Annie was the first choice, but she ran up out of there. But it was a nice little joke. You taking stuff seriously. And he's a little too nice. Because even during that reunion, he was doing a little bit too much covering for her in the first place as well. Like, bro, no, it was jacked up. And it's okay to say that it was jacked up. It felt good, but no, bro, it was horrible.
It felt like he didn't think he could come after a lady of her either Is it because she's a lady, or is it because that she was putting out her Karen card, Trey? Which one do you think it is?
No, it's because she was fine, and he felt he knew she was fine in the past because she was alluded to it the whole time. One, so he's already feeling like he's shooting above his weight class, which he was. Let's keep it real. He sees her, confirmed. He's trying to do everything he can to hang on to her. Unfortunately, she don't want him. But his problem is he's still not looking at this for the step up that it is. So even though she didn't want you for at least a bit of time, you was with her. So hey, bro, you.
But
I think this playing.
How do you feel? Hold on one second, Sam.
Sure.
Hey, El Teddy official, glad to have you here supporting. And if y'all into definitely into the shows and political sphere, please go visit LTeddy27 official. Okay, please go visit his channel. Trey, how would you feel as a gentleman now? You are at the reunion. You realize you put a ring on this girl's finger, and she is passing around with the other men on the show, and ain't got a daggone time for you.
And he didn't know.
And he had no clue.
There's a lot of situations he did not know. You can see it on his face.
Yeah.
He was definitely surprised by each situation that was popping up. He was like, wow. Whoa, wow. And then it's a double hit because he's also realized that none of the men told him either.
Thank you for clocking that. I was like, if Trey ain't say it, I'm gonna have to get there. The men ain't have no solidarity to Patrick to let him know his girl is on their lap this week.
Yeah. The men know it either. You know, done. So yeah, that told him a lot. It told him like, wow, I was really out here by myself.
Patrick may need to leave Denver.
Yeah, he's in the wrong demographic for what he's trying to accomplish. I think we talked about this before. He needs to go to San Francisco. That's where he probably going to get the most traction from. So go to San Francisco.
I'm sorry, Sam. I just wanted to get that part out because I would feel some kind of way if I know everybody done had a taste.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm going dive into my Edmund bag, y'all. Everybody done had a taste. And I'm just too nice, and you going around here spreading it low, laying it low. Everybody else get to see the landing strip except me. Mm-hmm. What's going on? And I put a ring on your finger for 2 hours, but I put a ring on your finger. I'm a dip in my Edmund bag. What? I mean, what? That is diabolical. You got to see his face on the stage when he kind of realized, wait a minute, who has not had her on their arm?
Yeah.
Oh, Elsa, to go to Africa's comment. She hope Patrick finds a Chinese lady in Denver. Me and Elsa talked about this very early on in the season. That's going to be very difficult for him to do because in the Asian culture itself, there's a hierarchy. And it's a very cutthroat hierarchy. It's not nice if you're on the outside looking in. To them, it's normal. It's what they live with all centuries now. But I said this early in the season. I'm going to say it again. It wasn't nice when I said it, but I meant it because it was the truth. Unfortunately, there's a reason why when Patrick was talking to Annie in the pause, he was very hesitant with telling her he was okay with saying he's half Chinese. Just by reference point, Chinese are second on the totem pole. Japanese is first. Chinese is second. That's Chinese, Korean right there, but just Chinese second, Korean third. He was very hesitant to say what else he was mixed with. And when he finally said Cambodian, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say it again, but unfortunately, a lot of people within the Asian culture would look at him as a mutt. That's why he was so hesitant.
And if you don't believe us, certainly go to the Asian podcasters who are also talking about this. Mm-hmm. They do co-sign what Trey and I had said before. And of course, I have an uncle who is Chinese. Okay. My great grandmother's son is Chinese. And we know how that boded well with him, in the Asian population. But again, go see Psychology in Seattle. I watch his. He is a licensed clinical therapist. And he also addressed that because of his own upbringing, in the Seattle area and how he was treated when his heritage was known. So definitely look, if you just type it in, they will tell you, and they are relating it with Patrick and his denominations. But thank you, Trey, for that. But let me get Sam back in. Sam, we're going back to KC. I get around, and Patrick don't even know she get around.
Doesn't know, but I'll tell you this much. My perspective was that Patrick came out of that to me looking good. For these reasons, the worst thing I can say about that moment in time was that he was giving her too much grace, so to speak, was really bending over backwards, literally dictating the apology that would make things okay. But I think that from the position of if he was playing it from the place of how he wants to come out of that situation looking, he looked better than Casey all the way around. He already had our empathy because of how Casey had behaved. But he had a choice to make. He either could have gone super petty or he could have taken the high road. And my perspective was that he took the high road. I wasn't even getting insecure Patrick in the reunion. Like when I was watching him in the pods, it was a lot. I thought Patrick looked handsome. I think he looked good in what he was wearing. His hair was, I felt that he gave the ring back after their little shootout. He was giving her a lifeline. I think that what I got from that was that he was surprised about what he was hearing. I don't think he knew all of what was happening. But even in that moment of learning what he was learning, which had to sting, I have to believe, he still kept it together. He still kept it classy. He didn't drag her through the rocks on that. I don't think that was necessarily to protect her. Sometimes I think in situations like this, you got a choice. You can lean into your petty, say what needs to be said, kind of get off on what you need to put out there, or you can just kind of sit in a space of understanding the long term. I don't think the long term for him was to go for her like that. It is what it is. She did what she did. She lied about it. She's been passed around. He's learning about that for the first time. I think of the two, he came out of that. I don't want to say necessarily looking like there's a lot of sympathy for him, because I think he already had that from us when we saw how horribly she had treated him. But I don't know what he would have had. And you guys are not saying this. So I'm not saying that you guys are saying that he should have kind of hopped up and down about it. You didn't say that. But I was glad that he didn't. Because even he said, I can see her being dragged through social media. He had a viewpoint of what was happening. And I think he didn't want to be feeding into the dragging for filth that she was getting.
But even then she failed. Even then she failed, because she's like, well, you sent me a clip of something that said I was the side chick. It was like she was coming at him like Patrick was the one who said she was not attractive and he didn't want to be with her. Like he's the reason everybody's coming after her.
Well, you're 100% correct, because it started when she tried to check him and say, you weren't in love with me the way you said. I was a distant second. And she kept trying to harp on it to where he had to say, wait a minute, girl. We all dated to the end.
Right.
Don't play that, because we all dated until we got to day 10. You're absolutely. Oh, yeah. I definitely don't want to seem like I'm giving Casey a pass.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I definitely, because you're right. She came out the box trying to play the whole, oh no, I was a distant second. So don't make it seem like you were in love with me. Casey, don't do that. Don't do that. You were all dating.
But I'm worried for Patrick, okay? I'm worried for Patrick. Because the diabolical Elsid in me, I would definitely, in my younger days, have dated a Patrick, because Patrick is completely clueless. Completely clueless.
It's easy to manipulate, unfortunately.
Easy.
Okay.
Easy. All he needs is a landing strip. That's what we see.
Yeah. He wants love so bad that he blind himself to certain things. Like, my issue mainly with Patrick is the fact of, during that reunion, he went out of his way to try and give Casey grace.
Yes.
At the expense of himself. You can give someone grace, without, putting yourself out there to look a certain type of way. Case in point, when they asked him, how did it feel when you saw that back? He's like, good, but not good. No, it was horrible. It was horrible. And I wish she would have the bravery to tell me the truth instead of lying to my face. That's all you had to say. And then you still could have covered her by saying, I have seen the threats that she had been receiving online in the mean comments. Even though what happened to me happened, I don't think she deserves that. You can still cover her that way.
Yeah.
But no, he was trying to cover her still at expense to himself. Oh, it might be my fault or whatnot, or I'll try to take the blame of that, when honestly he has no blame to take. He's trying to take a blame for something he didn't do.
And in chasing closure, he was chasing her. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, then you just answered, because I was going to say, is there space to say that the reason why Patrick went about it that way is due to lack of experience? because what you've articulated makes all the sense in the world, but we're old enough to be that young man's parent. So,
Not me.
Well, I don't mean that literally. I don't mean that literally.
I am not old enough to be Patrick's parent, but I understand the premise. I think Patrick has an innocence to him that I don't think he has come across someone who is going to be conniving.
Yeah.
And who gonna lie to his face.
Yeah.
Well, he already got that.
Right. I don't think he's had to navigate that kind of experience, because remember, Patrick said, I got rid of everybody. I came in here fresh, clean. I made sure that I am prepared for a wife. Yes. My thing is, I'm hoping he has the discernment necessary to find him his wife. Yeah. Because there are a lot of people out here that can play at being his wife because they see how he will be good and treat you well and, be a little bit clueless.
I think Patrick's a nice guy. I think he has great qualities. Patrick was my favorite coming into the pods. Yeah. It's just I started to see certain things. I was like, oh no, he expresses a bit of softness that could be preyed upon.
Yeah.
By men and women.
Well, I think because I think you hit the nail on the head, Trey Wynn. And if I'm putting words in your mouth or I'm misinterpreting what you said, then you check me. I felt that what I was hearing from you that I agreed with, that he was in over his way ahead of his skis with somebody like that. I believe that what you had articulated to us was that Casey, because I think, for lack of a better way of putting it, it was funny because I felt like you leaned into your Valley girl when you were like, Casey is like the type that everybody likes. That's not the girl that even needs a show like that because of her looks, the way she is. She's typically not even somebody that would quote unquote need a show like that based upon the prototype that is pretty popular in the Colorado world of it all. And I think that his lack of experience showed even when she was doing the SMEX talk in the pod. I mean, he kind of got flustered and oh, okay, and tell me more. And I mean, he was awkward with it. And I think that to me is all part of the immaturity of it all, because I don't know how many opportunities, I can't remember how much dating he said he's even done. But his actions would say that he doesn't have a lot of that experience. Even if he does, it's not of the, for lack of a better way, the Caseys of the world in terms of caliber. I'm not trying to say women are better than others. That's not what I mean. I just mean in the sense of who he typically would like to date, but who gives him the time of day type of a thing. So that's where I'm with you. I like him too, but like you said, with both men and women, he probably has this naivete and innocence about him that just doesn't bode well. And we could see that in real time, even watching the reunion, because I like him. I feel, I guess, like to go to Africa said, I wish him nothing the best. I hope he can find what he's looking for, because I really don't have anything negative to say about him at all. I just think it's a naivete, inexperience side. And I think that's what's gotten him tripped up even to this day, where he can't just, that's what even Casey said, don't tell me what to say. I know how to apologize. Don't tell me what my apology needs to sound like.
But she does it. That's the funny thing. But I was going to say, like, I'll give you a perfect example. To this day, up until this point, the men collectively still defend Brennan to a fault. And he's not even there.
Yeah.
Didn't even show up at the reunion, but they defend him.
Yeah.
Because he's liked.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'll put it this, there's a slight Brennan, I think Elsa's going to push back with me, but this is my opinion on it. Brennan and Patrick are not too far off from one another, at least on the emotional spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is, like I said before, Patrick comes off a little, Elsa said it comes off a little bit more naive and a little bit easier to sway.
Mm-hmm.
Because even in the lounge at times when you hear him talk to the other band or whatever, you'll notice he having an opinion, and his opinion would change depending on who he's talking to. You know, that could spell for a lack of backbone, a little bit, just a little bit. You're very amenable. You're easy to change your mind quickly depending on who's talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get that much with Brennan. If he felt some way about something, he thought about something, that was his opinion on it.
Yeah.
You know, but he was still, you know, of the same emotional caliber as Patrick when it comes to certain things. So it's just how you handle things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how you deal with yourself. And because of, and a lot of it does have to do with his own background, how he grew up. Like he danced around it. Me also went into it more deeply. He danced around it, but the struggles within his own community are palpable. They're palpable to him. Heck, you saw it with Annie when she danced around her own issues in her own community.
Yeah.
It's palpable. And they both had, that's why they probably were the best match for one another. It's just that Annie ran, but they both know that they will be shunned in their own communities. Which is why when they talked about their dating history, they both primarily dated white people or whatnot. That's how you have it.
On that note, I don't want to be like the show and spend too much time on Patrick and Casey. Let's move on to somebody who Casey dated, Joe and Madison. Joe came in with his corn star mustache, ugly cowboy boots. I'm sorry, Joe, those were ugly. Or maybe they were just well worn. Okay, maybe they were just well worn.
The color was weird. I don't know why he wore that color. It was weird.
With the suit, and then he kept on kind of sliding it half off, like his feet are too hot and roasting in the shoe.
The suit was fine. Now, I can't let you get on the suit. The suit was actually okay. The cowboy boots was wild.
There's so much we could have roasted Joe on, and it doesn't have to be Madison and her. You know, she is not his preference, but you could have at least asked him, "What were you thinking when you ran?"
Yeah.
Yeah, he couldn't do this.
They did ask him if it's because he was, seeing somebody else, and they didn't know that Joe was the one she dated after the pods. But again, it's like Madison came ready to roast Joe, and like the Lachey said, "Hold up now, you got the memo. You got the memo. We ain't roasting nobody tonight."
That's right.
I honestly think she don't. Honestly, if she would have got into the weeds of it all, just why I said this season was a bust for them. I don't think she really had much because it will open herself up, and it ain't good. It's just one of those things. She didn't have a strong leg to stand on, in my opinion. Not too strong of a leg. This man been showing you since day one that he didn't like you like that.
How?
He didn't like you like that.
How? Because he certainly was sleeping with me like that.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we've already established that men can do that. And it was even wilder that he said it here in the reunion. Oh, yeah, I wasn't really attracted. She wasn't my usual type. I really wasn't attracted to that, whatever. But we've always had a crazy sexual chemistry. I was like, yo, you let him get that off in front of you? You was just a fun toy to him. And you let him get off. The way she was looking, she's like, we can still be that, boo-boo.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure if Joe called her up, or if Joe was walking her to her car that night, that we would certainly get a pleasurable tongue lashing. I'm sure of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Madison seems to be the young ladies who cannot let go completely.
Nah, it was too good for her.
Yeah.
What you mean?
Right. She said the best she ever had. Come on now.
Gave him good lash. She gave a good lash. I can't let this go.
While he was intoxicated.
Because I don't think there was much that she could have read when she was in the throes of it, in the sense that, yes, he did say that she wasn't his normal type. But then he said, I thought he said words to the effect of, but that was shifting.
He was attracted to it.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that if I put myself in her shoes, in the sense that he, yes, said in the beginning, but then he said that was shifting. They're also making love. That's feeling like everything's is on cue. She met his family, passed with flying colors on that. She's trying on her dress. She's not getting a call in the middle of that he's just walked out and doesn't want any parts of that. So I don't know that she had enough to work with. If you just emotionally put, I mean, in my mind, I would have been able to, okay, wait, he said I wasn't his type. I feel like I'm asking him quite a bit. I'm following up with him quite a bit to find out, does he still feel that way? I mean, the experience of it all would have been such that I would have had to have a second or third. But again, in terms of the experience arena, she wants to be in love. She wants to get married. He has met her family. Her sister is crazy about him. Mom is crazy about him and is telling her while she's trying on the dress, I'm not getting any vibes that he's not who he says he is. So she's getting that from her mother. I mean, I don't know that there was enough there when she's getting all of that. She should have, but I think that she didn't. And to what you guys just said a moment ago, I agree. This couple was odd for the reunion in that there was not much there because they didn't want to take it there.
Right.
You know, there weren't questions for Nick that should have been. Nick, when you said that she wasn't your type, were you shifting and changing, or were you just telling her that? We don't know.
You keep mixing these two men up.
They can't have body shaming.
What is wrong? Listen, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I got to think for Nick. I'm sorry, Joe. Thank you for getting me straight. I appreciate it.
I think the show is diabolical. Why do we have it outside in the dark, dimly lit, and we know Madison can't see? We know Madison can't see coming down. I was like, wait a minute. Do y'all realize that what y'all did?
I don't think, but you see, they didn't even bring that up. We never even got to that aspect of it.
Right. They could have asked her about her vision. Has your vision improved? Are you still okay? Has there been any update? You know, even talk about the disease itself.
Yes.
We didn't get that. We talk about diabetes, but we didn't even get there to talk about what she's going through.
Or even ask Joe, what role, if any, did it play when she talked about her eyesight and what she might be looking at in the future? None of that. It was just very, you couldn't do anything with that couple on the show because they didn't want to ask. Madison was trying to come with some smoke, but then she was kind of cut off at the heels because there was nothing. There was no video clips you could go to. There were no questions that were coming his way. He was pretty tight-lipped about things. But then we saw the madness of it all, that it sounds like after the show, they did get together and he cried and they made out. And
because again, a lady who will give access to a man that is good physically to her. She, you know, it's chasing a high.
Yeah, chasing a high.
She igmatized.
Yes.
At some point, this is why, I'm sorry, ladies, at some point, this is why I have to jump off the train in protecting you myself. See, even though it may seem like I go hard on the women, people like to think that, I try to defend y'all a lot. But I can't defend you if you keep going back there. Like,
you know why to go, Trey?
Oh, I know why to go. But I'm just saying, I can't keep defending you if you keep going back there. You still want that guy. That guy still has access to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of crazy because Joe is low-key in the same position as Casey. Because now who he's dating, this Ava chick, who's a friend of Katie's, and Katie's a friend of Madison. This is just close.
Yes.
All of y'all just at Mike's pool party where he beat everybody. Well, listen, you say what you want to say about Joe. Joe know how to pull them.
Well, you did say Joe was a hot commodity for his demographic in the area.
I kept telling you, I don't know why people don't want to believe me. Joe is it in Denver. Okay. Honestly, he's good looking enough. He's going to be it at a couple of places in this country. Okay, that's just real talk. And he, you know, we've only really heard Joe belligerent this season. I feel like he got some reds when he's sober.
He was sober that night.
Yeah, he knows how to manipulate. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can see the jolly good old frat boy personality drawing people in, life of the party, you know, and he read all those self-help books. Okay.
Yeah, listen, this boy's not dumb, okay? He may come off stupid, but he ain't dumb.
Mhm.
Okay? You know what
He
he
does
doing.
not come off sober.
Cause let's just keep it real. Playing this scenario. Elsie, Sam, y'all in the same place, y'all are friends. You got a mutual friend. Sam, you dated a Joe. It didn't work out. It's craziness. But you still feeling some type of way. All of a sudden, Joe go talks to your friend Elsie. Your friend.
Mm-hmm.
How is this even allowed?
Right. Right.
Because it's very slim pickings in Denver.
Right.
Maybe, but I'm sorry. If you're Katie, I had to think about this when I was watching. I was like, wait a minute. If you're Katie, you are actively friends with Madison. Y'all buddy, like this, hanging out, all kind of pie squad, all this bull crap. They talk like they like this. They be acting like they like this. All of a sudden, her ex that left her is trying to holler at your friend, but he came to the party with old girl sitting back there. What's going on?
But we just met. We act like we friend, but you know, Katie's like, it ain't me. I ain't gonna be with Joe. But if you want to try that, Madison been with Joe, Casey been with Joe. Hey, if you want to go there, you be you.
Elson. I get you, but you only say that after your friend is hard bullheaded. You know you ain't gonna stop her. But in the beginning, you ain't gonna sit here and tell me that you ain't warning her.
Right, but hey, Joe is something. You know what? There are some ladies that go and they talk about a certain man, just like Madison saying he's the best she ever had, and then there's somebody listening who want to go have a sample.
That's right.
I feel like Katie want to know. God's honest truth.
Right.
True.
Could
True.
be.
I get that feeling every time they get on Joe. It seems like Madison seems like she got some energy, but it's not enough because she still likes him.
Right.
Katie's supposed to be your homegirl. It looks like she has some energy too because that's a homegirl, but she be looking at Joe kind of sideways. I've been paying attention in that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
either she offered and he declined, or she wishes she had a turn and ain't got it. Oh no, the darling said Katie already got it.
Joe might have ran through the whole crew. Joe might have ran through the whole crew.
He and Casey running through the group.
Yep.
He got that stash now. You better check that stash for evidence. And
it is funny how these things happen. You know, sometimes you don't have to be intentional.
Right.
Like unfortunately, I have to admit I've been in some situations like this. I didn't know that they were friends, whatnot, but I look back and I start looking. Wait, y'all know each other? You know her? Wait, y'all work together? Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. It had me question. Like, wait a minute. Who was talking?
Right.
Who was talking for y'all to be giving me play? Y'all work together. Y'all wanted to try. What's going on? You know. So it can happen without you just obnoxiously going after it. But it's just real funny in this particular situation. Like, okay, this is wild work. And now he in this 4-month relationship with Avery that he's trying to hang on to. About don't mess up don't make me messing up my home. I was like,
that's what he said.
He actually stood up for that.
That's what he said.
He stood up for that.
He sure
hold up, who's Avery?
Yeah.
Speaking of not messing up my home, we got different homes now. Okay, Jordan and Megan. So we find out that Megan did indeed have a lovely bouncing baby boy. Jordan was on his deflect night. Because don't ask me about Megan, she right over there. Ask her.
That was beautiful.
He came in his birthday suit. Okay, I'm sure he got that suit for his birthday. We find out it was his birthday and like, why am I here? But Jordan also was like our narrator, and he was acting like how the rest of us were acting. We were laughing, holding our heads, and shaking our heads when Casey was saying foolishness. Jordan was us in the audience. Now,
Sure.
somebody he said was trying to be messy, letting them know when Megan had her kid.
That was crazy.
But you know that was going to happen. Either it was breaking news or somebody was going to let you know. Megan, on the other hand, caught herself a big fish. Okay. Paul, the father of her child. Megan got 3 months in, and we are with child. Yeah, he's well decorated. Okay.
I get him. What I mean is, are they actually gonna get married one day?
No, they didn't say anything about married. They didn't even say they boyfriend, girlfriend. They just said partner. And I know when people say partner, that means we are co-parenting. We good, we cool. We may hit it every now and again, but you just my partner. We ain't together like that.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing.
But Megan is also the reason why we had ice cream instead of cocktails. Okay? Megan, Annie, Anton are the reason why we had ice cream. So while I'm like, Megan, you hit a whole pregnancy from almost the entire cast. But more importantly, Megan decided only to share this with Casey.
Katie.
That to me, not Katie, Casey.
Yeah,
Casey in the yellow. Patrick's Casey knew about it.
Did I miss that? She told Casey?
She did.
Yes. Casey was the one on the show who knew, and Casey kept it quiet.
That is weird.
So you can go away, and now I have family members that do that. Go away, you don't see them on social media or nothing, and all of a sudden you see baby. So you go away and keep yourself away from everybody except Casey.
Well, she knew how that was gonna look. Just the look of it. It's just wow.
But I wouldn't let Casey hold water for me.
Yeah, that was weird.
It is weird to me. But anyway, they maybe in the same demographic. But again, Megan certainly fell in love with Jordan's son more than Jordan. And they had Jordan clear up the whole diabetes thing. Why wasn't Mike there to have the whole thing? Because he said Mike talked to him. Mike certainly apologized. Mike was doing his apology tour off camera. But Jordan was like, deflect. And one thing they could have asked Jordan is, you are a co-parent. Do you consider yourself a single parent, or do you consider yourself a co-parent? That is a simple question. Because everybody is talking about, but he acting like he's got full custody of his child when he doesn't. But he does come off like I use, my son helps me pick up chicks. That's how it comes across. That ain't necessarily what he's doing, y'all. But that's how it comes across. But he says, he was asked if he dating, and he said he may be, but he isn't seeing anyone that is enough to introduce to his son. Sam, what did you think about this whole Jordan, Megan, and this ice cream foolishness?
It was, again, another disappointment because there was so much to explore there. There definitely, to me, still seemed to be somewhat of a respectful relationship, because I misinterpreted when Megan was talking. I thought Jordan didn't know until she made the announcement to everyone, and that wasn't the case. She had told him. He did know. But his face to me when I was watching, before I knew that, I thought I was reading the expression of a man who was a little surprised and saddened and disappointed. Then I find out, oh, well, he knew. And then I thought, well, maybe it's a little bit of both. Yes, he knew, but maybe, yes, he still was saddened by it all in the bigger scope of things. And again, I would have loved, it just would have been amazing if they could have talked, if questions had been asked. As you said, there's a difference between being a single parent and a parent who, has children. There was so much there to be talked about. And none of it got talked about or almost none of it got talked about, because they wanted to be so careful about how this was coming across. And they were so scared to ask these questions. I think the deepest they seemed to get into it was when they asked Megan, how did you feel about the fact when you watched the playback where he said he regretted you meeting his son? That to me was the biggest step, bold step that they took. That was the hottest that they got, was to kind of say, how did that make you feel? Because she got emotional about it. But then he was able to quickly jump in and say, hey, look, that's not what I meant. And he was able to explain what he was feeling in that moment. So again, it just was a moment, guys, where it felt bland and it felt carefully touched, to where you couldn't really get what you wanted to get out of it, because it would have been nice to know, is it true that you changed when you got back? Is it true that you weren't very talkative? Do you have regret? What were you conveying in the pods that became very different when you got outside of the pods? Why do you think it got here?
Or even ask Megan, has your lifestyle changed since having a baby? Do you now understand?
There it is.
I mean, it's that right there. Because Vanessa is always asking for a freaking baby every daggone reunion. Well, here's the baby. Here's the baby. Talk to her about motherhood. How has motherhood changed you? How have your priorities changed? Do you now understand, what Jordan and the challenges he faced while being a parent when he was 20 something, and you're now, I think she's like 31, 32. There is things you've been asking for a baby all these years, and you finally have one, and you drop the ball and asking the daggone questions.
And you don't ask a question. Normally, Vanessa pulls out gifts. I've seen them pull out gifts for people that, are expecting, or the baby's here. Nothing. It was so careful. And
even say, we would babysit if you would let us.
Yeah, that's the kind of joke she used to give. Remember, God, that you're so right. That's the kind of, we'll be happy to babysit. Here's a gift. Vanessa had her conservative little cute little Bob, prim proper, didn't want to ask, didn't want to say, didn't. And so there's a host of things that we just couldn't get to because they wouldn't ask. So I wasn't mad at the scene, but I didn't get satisfaction out of it, because again, it was a very, I got you, you got me, let's have each other in this moment. Let's have each other in this moment. I got a child now. I've got a baby Brooks. So let's keep it classy, and let's keep it cute, and let's cover each other in this. That's what it was giving to me.
Right. Did you get that nanny that you said you wanted to raise your child? Have you gotten a nanny? Mm-hmm. Are you still playing tennis on 10 o'clock on a Wednesday? There's little things that you could have asked, about the show without riling her up or making her look some kind of way.
Correct. That is correct. And it just never happened. It just never happened.
The dad is a CEO. She was introduced by mutual friends, Nola Darling, and she was with child after 3 months of dating. Okay? Paul swimmers swim by any obstacles I see. Okay? Trey? On that note, Trey?
Listen, we were not going to get any hard-hitting questions on them because she had the baby. Especially in the manner of how the baby happened. I'm quite sure it happened out of love, but I think I'm going to go on a limb and say part of the reason why she wasn't, two things. Just statement to cover what Sam said and what I'm about to say. When you said the look on his face was a disappointment or whatnot, I think it was ironicness.
Oh.
It was a little bit ironicness, because I remember very specifically in the pods when they were talking about having kids, whatever, she made a very hardline statement, which probably doesn't mean nothing now, but I'm going to say the statement. She made a hardline statement like, yes, she wanted kids, but she definitely wanted to be married first. So now all of a sudden, wow, first you hear about it. Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Okay. And it's funny how he said how it happened. I think two things happened, but he tried to cover it up. He was told, right? Mm-hmm. Then he said Megan decided to talk to him about it and tell him what had happened. My immediate response was, how did that happen? Someone had to call somebody. How did she find out that you found out? No. Mm-hmm. You let it be known that you found out. Mm-hmm. And she had to do damage control.
Yes.
Because keep it real, you can see how this looks. just off rip.
Yeah.
See how this looks? We just had a situation last season in UK. The guy, the girl didn't work out. All of a sudden, you found out he had a baby.
Yes.
On the way. Same thing. Same thing. He got a little roasted for his now. Got a little roasted for his. But now we got to protect Megan over here. Got to protect Megan over here.
They finally got their Love is Blind baby.
Mm-hmm.
And now we can't ask questions about it.
And now we can't talk about
it.
If you watch Sweden, there's always somebody full, big, pregnant at the reunion. If you watch Love is Blind Sweden, there's always a bride that is about to pop, but here we are. We took enough time, and that's probably why they delayed the show too.
Listen, yeah.
They could. I'm thinking about that. If they were supposed to release this show, yes, I would have released Minnesota before Denver. But by the time they were about to release the show, if you can't get wind from Megan that, hey, I can't do a reunion, I just gave birth.
Yeah.
Or I am 6 months in, you would push it back.
You're doing math. You're doing math real quick. Because what's the timeline that you usually do a reunion after the show airs? A couple months?
The thing is, they're sounding like this show was filmed 1.5 years ago.
It was.
It's usually a year.
And they waited 1.5 years for the reunion. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's telling me you gave that 6 months for her to have that baby and the baby be old enough to be home with that nanny.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Plus, Jordan said he was seeing her getting, I thought he said he was seeing her getting dragged a little bit in social media. So that, I think, factored in as well, why he didn't want to kind of seem like he was coming for her, so to speak.
I only drag her, not on social media. I only drag her here with y'all, okay? With L citizens and delegates. I only drag her for the fact that she's like, I didn't realize Jordan was telling her from the pods.
Yes, he was.
This ain't gonna be no sparkle, Megan. This ain't gonna be sparkly. Are you sure? I live different. I don't have that. I have a Kia. I have a 2003 Kia. Yo, I just made up a year.
Told her exactly who he was.
Yes, he did.
I cannot financially carry another person. He was up front about it. I gotta work. I got PTO I gotta get. He was up front.
Yes.
And yet
That's
you
why I
tell
can't
me
have.
now?
That's why I can't have too much smoke for him, especially when he laid all of this out from the very beginning. The only thing I think Elsa brought it up earlier. Well, actually, you did, Sam, about her, the argument, him coming home, not paying her enough attention. I was always on the fence about the whole situation because on one hand, I could understand where she's coming from. Bro, listen, I understand Jordan too. Sometimes you come home, you want to, I felt him so much when he said, I just want to sit down on the couch, hold you and watch a movie.
Right.
In most cases, the conversation usually will come automatically during the course of that movie or y'all spending time together. You don't have to force the situation right when he just walk in the door.
Keep in mind, he's been away from work for over 10 days.
Yeah. Now, his thing that got me, I think the main reason why they also didn't bring that up, among everything else, whatever, because to me, a lot of these disagreements or issues that some of these people had was smoke and mirrors in the first place. I can, for some odd reason, and I really don't have too much evidence with this, either one way or the other. For some odd reason, I think that was the first time that she ever brought up the fact that he wasn't communicating when he got home. I think that was the very first and only time that has happened. And they tried to make it into a whole issue.
Yes. That's
almost like it was regularly happening. Because when you really look at the timeline, how things going on there, that's impossible. That's impossible. This can't be regularly happening. From the stuff that they were doing. No. That was the first time they brought it up. They never brought it up again. And they tried to make it into a whole thing. And it wasn't really. It was just that day, baby, I'm tired. And you still trying to drag this. I don't understand why. And I can almost understand why. I can almost guarantee you somebody in Bakersfield production, hey, we need something, talk about here. Because y'all turn it into, y'all are turning into very routine. Because that's the type of person Jordan is. He's routine. He has to be.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
He's going to get routine. So they needed something.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Same thing with Anton. Anton is routine.
Yes.
Yes.
So they needed something.
I have
They
to
did.
agree. Have
They
to
did.
agree.
A lot of the arguments smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is. You wanted a last word, Sam, on Jordan and Megan?
Really just to echo what Trey said, because remember, I compared myself and said that whole Netflix and chill, that's my type of life. I'm a routine, structured, Elsie's going to have a chat. I'm here at 2 minutes till, I'm a very, so yeah, I'm very, we're Cancer. I'm sure Mr. Elsie's got some shades of that too. We are routine.
Ooh.
We are on time. That's what I was saying. I understood where Jordan's coming, because he'd been the perfect boyfriend for me. And this
no, Sam, he ain't got that on time. He ain't got
he
that
doesn't.
on time. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
He's a let the moment move you. And that ain't me.
Okay.
If we are going somewhere, I literally have to go out to the car, or else if he sees me in the house, he gonna think he got time.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So no,
okay.
No, and he will be running with his shoes to put it on in the car, because by the time if he sees I pull the car out into the driveway, he knows, oh no, she ain't got no time.
She's leaving.
I ain't gonna leave him, but he knows the car's out the garage. Oh yeah, we about to leave in 5 minutes. But let's get to KB and Anton.
I did have one thing left.
KB and Edmund. Okay, go ahead.
I did have one thing left, and this may be a reach. It's just what I felt in the moment watching her. Besides the baby itself, Megan didn't look happy to me.
Oh no.
Thank you. Okay, I thought I was the only one. Thank you. Okay, I didn't want to say anything.
I think she was happy about the baby and having the baby, whatever.
Yes.
But for some odd reason, the way she was acting, the way she was looking, I could tell she was stressed
tired. That's called tired. That baby had been up all night.
I'm thinking I'm gonna just put it at that. But even when they were talking about the new guy, she didn't look happy when she looked over at him.
No, she said it had been rough. It had
she alluded to that. I'm like, interesting.
Rough. Baby Brooks is this big, and it's been rough.
It's been rough. A postpartum, y'all. I'm gonna have to give y'all time out on this. I'm gonna have to protect the sparkle that is Megan.
Hey, don't do it. Don't do it. Let us cook.
I'm just saying, for the fact that Baby Brooks is how old? 3 to 4 months. 3 months ago, she gave birth.
They said 2.
2 months. Even worse.
I don't even believe that timeline, but okay.
Even worse. I'm telling you, if she ain't got that nanny or an overnight nurse taking care of that baby, it is rough. Especially as a first-time parent, and you feel like you have to do everything yourself, and then he ain't your husband. I mean, I could understand.
Yeah. Okay. I can definitely respect.
And great to the.
And wait a minute. 2 months.
To the diamond.
2 months. We just 2 weeks out from us being able to get some again. I mean, come on now.
I think Quay the Canary Diamond pointed out perfectly what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying the baby. I can understand she having postpartum the baby issues. I get that. I was singing that. Yeah. I'm talking when she specifically started talking about him, and she alluded that their relationship hasn't been easy. Was rocky. I said,
rocky.
With her partner, Paul.
Yeah, partner. Yeah, it's not. Mm-mm. Yeah.
It sounds like it wasn't smooth before we got before.
But then if it's rocky, and as we said, the baby is 2 months, that means only 2 weeks ago the doctor gave me the all clear to get some again. I may not want some again from him.
No.
If it's rocky. But then how am I going to look if I want somebody else?
I think they are purely co-parenting. That's what is given to me. They're purely co-parenting, and now, unfortunately, Megan finds herself in a position which you just alluded to, Elsie. Now she's a single mother, hopefully to try to get back on the prowl with a newborn. It's not going to be easy for her.
Not at all.
It's
not at all.
And
then,
I hate to say,
right. And if I go back with him, the chances are I might get with child again because he got some potent swimmers. Okay, she saw the value. She saw the value of having somebody who got the snip. But I mean, 2 weeks, I got the all clear from the doctor. I can't get none because I have a new baby. It ain't gonna look right, and I don't want to get with the father of my child.
I guess I'm making things up in my mind then because it just felt like the rockiness I was taking it pre-baby. I just felt like 90 days.
Pre-baby.
Yeah, it's right. It seemed her disenchantment. I wasn't tying it to baby Brooks. I was tying it to
the relationship.
Thank you. The relationship.
I understand.
Or lack of. It seemed like lack of.
Yes.
I understand you two. I really do. And I understand it could be because that adds to it.
Yeah.
That adds to it.
Yeah.
Because that postpartum, your hormones ain't stabilized. It takes a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But also to have a partner that you ain't really in it 100%.
Yeah.
And you are new to motherhood. Your entire life has just changed, and you're with someone who the foundation isn't steady on.
Correct. Yeah.
I do think she understands Jordan a lot more. The way she was talking to Jordan, I think she understands him a lot more.
A lot better now. Mm-hmm.
Right. People won't be surprised if she's not, with Paul anymore. But yes, I think she does appreciate what Jordan had to go through, especially since, wonderful, her lovely baby does not have the health challenges that Jordan's son has.
Yeah.
And even without health challenges.
Yes.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I'll get off of Megan, but I will be asking her, yo, are you having them 10 a.m., tennis court runs anymore?
Right.
Did you hire that nanny that you were alluding to? You said you wanted to get a nanny. That is some simple, soft questions you can have, because really Jordan got his blender brand, product, whatever brand deal. She could have a whole, shebang about being a new mother.
Mm-hmm.
That could be her niche market.
Jordan's face the whole night was cracking me up.
Yes.
Oh, he was a cracker.
He was like, yo, am I the only normal person?
Right.
He sure did.
And that comes with that. I'm sorry, that comes with parenthood.
Right.
You realize what's important. You're right. So now that we've dived into Megan didn't look happy. She looked, either sad or just postpartum.
Yes. Yeah.
Edmund looks sad too. Give me one moment. Hold on. Let me play this.
No matter how someone makes you feel they love you, they talk to you with love. And I was not talking to you with love in those moments. And that's not fair to you. And please never accept that kind of love. No matter how bad you want that love, don't accept that love. That's not what love looks like. I don't want nobody talking to me like that. And so you shouldn't accept that. Okay?
Yeah. Look, and you didn't need a paper for that.
No, I didn't.
Why are we clapping?
Disgusting.
Why are we clapping indeed?
Disgusting.
Come on, talking points.
Disgusting.
Why are we clapping?
I was disgusted.
That was ridiculous.
It was.
That was ridiculous.
It was a whole. I needed her to specify. You know how she likes to tell Edmund how he needed to apologize? She told him all season, you need to take accountability. You need to say this. You need to say that. You need to do this. And she didn't do it in her own apology.
Yeah.
What are you apologizing for? Say it. Say it with your chest. Say it. And now you know how much the man, you called him a B and he still was willing to go down the aisle with you. He was still rocking with you. You knew. But yes, y'all, I agree with y'all. It is damage control.
Mm-hmm.
It is damage control. It is all the way because you know what? She's going to be probably taking over for AD. I keep saying this on the mountaintop. She's going to be taking over for AD when AD is doing her mommy duties as she should, step away and take care of her family. I'm thinking they're setting up KB to do that Life is Reality while AD is doing her family thing. I'm sorry, it is damage control. They are both a problem. Edmund and KB are a problem.
Yes.
And she came off, and here's the thing. She telling him, you made me look like an angry black woman.
That was crazy.
Yet you telling Edmund to be accountable for his own behavior and his own actions, but he's making you look like an angry black woman when you're the one sitting forward on the couch.
Right.
You're the one talking. You're the one reaching in your bosoms to pull out a piece of paper to come at him. He didn't tell you to do that. He didn't make you do that. This, the only thing I liked about this, you know, her whole thing is her mama checked her.
Yeah.
When he said, you know, could you be nice? Could you be nice? And she went to her mother. Her mother had wise counsel to say, you may think you're nice to him, but that's not how he wanted you to be nice to him. So that was the only thing. But KB, you just like KC, KB, you ain't do yourself no favors in this reunion. If you thought you had to clean up on aisle 3, you were cleaning up and you were messing up. It was worse for me. Sam, what were your thoughts?
Oh yeah, I mean, totally. I believe she was nervous. She was almost breathless because she was so nervous. And she wanted it both ways. What I was hearing in her was this as she was talking. I was hearing, though she wasn't saying it, all of the things that have been coming up in social media. And so she was addressing all of those things without saying, because nobody asked you, since there were no questions, nobody asked you about calling him the B word. Nobody asked that because we weren't talking and asking questions and showing clips, right? So, but she was addressing the unanswered and now had counsel for him that if you're treated the way I'm treating you, that's not what love looks like. All of that was PR, period. That was, if you want to be able to move forward with whatever that's moving forward with, you are going to have to give a full-throated, unapologetic, no holds barred apology. You're going to have to be and I still don't believe that she did that in any way, shape, or form. So what she wanted to do was have it both ways. She needed to clean up in aisle 9 because of what she had said. She's getting dragged in the social media, which is probably why she was breathless and had to have her notes, which production in the trailer, you made it seem like she was going to pull out some receipts. She pulled out no receipts. What she pulled out was cheat sheet notes because she was so nervous, which then made it look, and to me at the point that you're pulling, listen, just for FYI, I never let anybody I'm giving PR about, don't pull out notes. That makes it, even nervous or not, it makes it look disingenuous if you got to pull out your notes. You've got to be able to speak from your heart if you mean what you're saying. And we won't get that when you're pulling out talking points, but that's an aside, another conversation for another day. That for me to land the plane is exactly how I saw that. I don't know that I want to go as far as saying she meant nothing of what she said. I don't know that I feel comfortable saying that she didn't mean anything. I don't know that that's fair for me to make that judgment call. I think she has her regrets in that. But I will say this, if it is true that allegedly she had been encouraged to give Edmund an opportunity, I don't know why you let yourself be played like that. If that's true, I don't know why you allowed yourself, KB, to get played like that. And I hope it was worth it, because it doesn't seem like it was. You're having to clean up things you said or things you didn't say. Yes, she brought in her mom's counsel, and her mother was 100% on point. But I don't know why you need to bring your mother's advice in it when you seem to have so much advice about everything. You can't, as a final statement, you can't look at another person and say, look at what you made me do when you're a whole grown woman. You can't do that. At your big age, he can't force you to do anything. He can't force you to come out of your skin. You should be able to say, I am disappointed that things that we talked about off camera became on camera conversations, and I'm disappointed. Not, that's why I was bucking at the mountaintop because you said and you made and you. No, not a good look. I thought it was very disappointing, and I saw right through it.
And even to this day, he's saying he would still rock with her, even though she, you know, she did and said all these things. And I just think, you know, I'm putting him kind of like in the same area as Patrick. It's like, I need you. They would do anything, if someone showed them a crumb of love.
Yeah.
Trey, thoughts?
Sam took my last talking point about her being a grown woman. No one can, there's not too many things that you can somebody force you to do. You have actions, you have reactions, and you are only accountable for what actions you take and reactions that you take. Now, this was going to be my opening statement. How are you going to counsel me on what type of love that I should and should not take after you the one that was giving me the example of what love that I should and should not take? That was confusing me. Like, hold up. So basically, you're telling him not to accept everything that you did.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're telling us now? Was that the sum of everything? What you trying to tell us? Okay. All right, yeah. You should have someone to love you, not me, because I never loved you from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all a lie. That's how it was taken. It was all a lie. Because none of you are about to sit here and have me believe that she loved him.
Trey, she said she loved the man. I'm going to take her at her word.
I think she cared for him. I think she learned to care for him somewhat. Love, though. It's kind of hard for me to take that because usually, even in bad situations, love don't treat people this way. Okay? Love don't treat people this way. But, it was damage control. I have to fix my reputation that I had a hand of dismantling. That's the key point about all of this. She had her own hand in this of dismantling her own reputation. And that's the part that she seems to try to gloss over at times.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still get a sense that, at least from her standpoint, she didn't do anything wrong that she feels true.
Correct. She doesn't feel she did anything wrong. He did a lot of wrong to her. Other than
Exactly.
calling him out, other than calling him out of his name, that's what
Yes.
she acknowledges she did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's all, it's and this is, I hate to get on a little soapbox about this, but this is the main issue that a lot of men have with women, and it's just the whole accountability thing. That's not how accountability works. Okay? Accountability is not in spite of this person, what that person did. It's purely what you have done or lack of done. I have to acknowledge where my faults are and what I did and did not do. Not what you did or I think you made me do. That's not accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's not how it works.
But Trey, do you believe him? Do you believe that he doesn't remember?
Honestly, yes. Listen, we have all want to. Y'all want to talk about the elephant in the room? We all know Edmund never should have been casted for this show. We all know this. No one can be blind and of same mind to say otherwise. Like, no, he shouldn't have been here. He was here to be exploited. There are many things that this man. I want to be. Here's my problem. This is my real problem. There are times that I want to be a little harder on Edmund, honestly, just man to man. But I can't look past the fact of what I've seen from him. This man has been through some traumatic things that has forced him into the mindset that he has today. I can see it. I can almost stem to see where it's come from. A lot of it, even when they brought up the fact that some of his crying could be manipulative, right? That was a true statement. I can see it because yes, some of that could be stand as manipulative. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Ant-Man actually understood what they were even talking about.
Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh. Ooh.
And he said it with his actions, how he responded. Manipulative, I didn't see. Wow, manipulative. I was just feeling in that in the moment. I don't think it was manipulative, but if you say, I mean, you know, I'm sorry for that. I guess he does not understand it. I'm not saying he's foolish, dumb, whatever, but there are he has certain social disorders. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain understandings that it's going to be hard for him and to lose him. He sees himself as so non-confrontational that he can't even compute. Well, I'll put it this. Have y'all noticed moments where it seemed like Edmund, for a split second, either wants to react or has anger in reaction, and he automatically checks himself? It's not an actual check. He's retreating. He's retreating in his own mind. And I caught on to this as soon. Well, I caught on to partially when he explained some of his childhood. I said, "This is not normal. This is not normal. You know, your mom and kept losing and getting you back, losing, get back, foster home. Okay, nah. Most kids don't go through that and come out okay. Some adjust better, some don't." Then when we actually met his mom, and I went, I've seen this before. I've seen this with my own eyes. You know, yeah, I know what that is. And then it was only, yeah. It's just so much. When his mom showed up and he was so quiet, it was pure fear. Fear.
Like how quiet he was. Like how quiet he was on the reunion stage.
Yes, fear. Fear. That's all it was. And because you've noticed, his face never changed. It was just sit there like this, slight smirk right here, fixed face, didn't move, statue, like he was hiding in a corner.
Do you think it was fear or more conditioning?
Both.
Okay.
I was going to say he was conditioned to fear that fear.
But fear of what? That they're gonna tell your business, or fear of they're gonna come at you?
Most is to come at you because he just wants positivity. If you notice, he wants just to hear nice things. You know, he just wants affirmations. Like he needs affirmations. Why?
His head is in the sand.
Yes, his head was in the sand. He needs affirmations because he probably never received them properly when he was a child.
Right.
So that's why he
from
needs
the teacher.
Yes. If you notice when she was talking to him, it was the exact type of affirmations that he needed to hear. And that was the type of affirmations he needed from Calibria. You know, but honestly, yes, could be fear of punishment as well. I could tell they were leaving a lot on that table. Mm-hmm. I don't even want to a part of me doesn't want to even think about what that boy went through with his mom. Because I thought it was very telling when the one thing that I would give KP on, she asked a good question in the pies. That's how I know she wanted the food. You knew what was going on here. She asked a very good question in the pies. She asked him, do you regret your mother any? Like, have you forgiven her? Do you regret your mother and everything? And Edmund did a very strange pause. It was a very strange pause. He just went, I just have to love her. I have to love her. I just got to, you know, you know, no matter what it is, I just have to love her through. You know, it was hard. I'm not saying it was easy for her, but I just gotta love her. Yo, I can't imagine what that young man may have gone through. Honestly, I thought it was super telling. Okay, we're meeting the mother. Okay, that's cool. One thing, it told us a lot. Well, where's his brothers and their wives? Like, we finally met the dad, and I still think that there was some footage because he said specifically his dad had never met KB, so and he was to his I think he was talking to his teacher.
Yes, that
Say,
he was
yeah,
going to go meet KB now.
Yeah, he was going. We never saw any of that. What happened during that exchange? Because the way his dad was looking, sitting on that front row, he didn't look happy for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
He looked upset. And then his upsetness was validated when everything happened. It was trying to console him and whatever. He was like, he made a very slick comment, you know. He made a very slick comment, you know. That's just how some of them do, man. That's just how some of them do. Like, what's going on? Wait a minute. Weird. There's a lot that they left on the table.
With the brothers, because I don't know how many he had, but it's definitely three. It's definitely not unusual for, unfortunately and sadly, for children to be separated. If there are foster families who may say, I can take one, I can take two, I cannot take four. So if that is a possibility, sadly and unfortunately, then there may not be a bond or a natural bond or a close bond with his siblings, because quite frankly, these may be men he never grew up with as a child or saw them here and there when they could kind of host sibling events, because sometimes they'll host sibling events and the individual foster parents can bring all of the kids together. So that, I don't know what his story is, but I know it's not unusual for that, unfortunately, to be part of it as well. That would make sense. Separation would make sense to me in the sense of, on the day of his wedding, there was no one. And that is what I think. I mean, granted, I cry about everything, but that ultimately is what reduced me into a puddle, because I'm looking at this young man who has zero support outside of the teacher, and thank God for that. And I think at the end, some of his friends. But in terms of the getting ready of it all and no one to help him adjust to, I mean, that to me was just, that was sad. And so I think his situation is so enormously complicated, which is why my blood boils. I had to turn on my ceiling fan before we started talking about it, because I knew I was going to, I had to get up and turn the fan on, because I knew how I was going to start to feel about this when I think about a show that, even if the safest word we want to say, because I don't know what his situation is, but I do feel comfortable saying that he was differently abled to others. I think that's a fair comment. Differently, I'm different. I'm differently abled. I'm not a social person. I'm a shy person. I cry. I call myself differently abled because I'm socially awkward. So I'm not faulting him for that. I'm saying that if the show can see those vulnerabilities, why bring him on? And so his actions make all the sense to me. Maybe it's because I'm coming from a place, and if I have those thoughts, KB has those thoughts, because I understand child welfare from a PR point of view, but she understands it from a social worker point of view. She's got even more of a bird's eye view than I do. And so when I look at it, whether it's from her perspective, whether it's production's perspective, it's just very unfortunate.
It is, but I saw them not being there. I thought he was going to be a no. Mm-hmm. But when he was a yes, then is when I kind of like.
Yes. I knew he was a yes.
I thought he was playing in my face, Trey. I really thought so.
I knew he was a yes. He pretty much has been saying this since day one. This is the first time that, at least from his standpoint, he has felt like I finally got a chance for a relationship.
Yeah.
This man, even though I could tell he will deflect from his own deficiencies. He deflects from. But I know that he knows that he has them. I know he knows it. for you to say, he gives a little tidbit. You don't know how hard it's been for me, how hard it is to find someone. Like, no. Somebody made a comment, this is his first black person he's dated. I believe it. He's from Charleston, West Virginia. Ain't too many blacks up there. At all.
Not many.
If you come over to Denver, yeah, that's the same.
But you know what it screamed to me? When people say, how hard it's been, or I can't find nobody, sometimes I think they have blinders on. Because just like, I'm going to bring up, Trey, I'm going to bring it up.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, but the whole Spider-Man stuff. Okay. You're chasing after the girl you want, but you're forgetting that the neighbor's daughter across the way is the one baking you cookies and making sure you're taken care of. When a man says that, I'm like, there must be a woman around who has been showing you that she is open to your interests and you have paid her no mind. No attention.
But my only issue, yes, can I believe he has blinders? Are these blinders something he put on himself or something that was built all into his psyche from what he's been through?
He needs to find a good girl in the skating community. Please do that.
I'm quite, you know what? I'm going to say it. There's plenty of girls in that skating community. And they've all come out. He's just skating. They've all come out and in support of him. They like him, how much they love him. He's lovable, this and that, third. That doesn't mean they're going to actually date him.
Or have his babies.
Exactly. No. What do you mean? They will love on him as a friend.
Maybe he needs to do like AD and find someone across the pond. He does say he has a wonderful skating community family in the UK as well.
He's been over there.
Right.
Same thing.
I'm trying to be hopeful, Trey.
I want to be hopeful too, but I'm too much of a realist. Okay? I'm too much of a realist. And sometimes it avails me at times. But bro, it's going to be difficult.
But you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking this, because I think Elsid has said this in the past. There's a lid for every pot. I would love for this to be a situation where, because of the exposure, that last comment hit on just exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just about to say, all of this exposure, I bet you he's got more of a dating life right now than I do. I wouldn't be surprised if meaning I wouldn't be surprised if this exposure has brought empathy and understanding and someone who sees him in the way she sees herself. Kind of like a love on the spectrum type of a thing. Back in the days, we might have said, well, love on the spectrum. I don't know. It's challenging. It's complicated. I'm not sure if it could be. I'm not saying he's love on the spectrum. I'm not going there. I'm just using that as an example, whether it's love on the spectrum, little people, whatever. I would not be surprised if through that, maybe he is talking to somebody. Maybe somebody will see him and love him and understand him, right?
Get with one of them skating battle girls. I love those ladies. I'm sorry.
Hey,
that still don't mean they
right?
I know it doesn't mean they will love him in return. I understand. I'm just trying to be hopeful for him. Be hopeful for KB. I know KB is going to, be on the mend. She said she's learned a lot from him. Huh?
See, the thing, KB is going to get takers because she's pretty.
She's good looking.
But that's also going to be a hindrance because she is pretty. So what type of takers are you going to get?
Yeah, but she was kissing on that man that eats his boogers.
Listen,
and licks the floor. Trey, you gonna date her after? You gonna come up behind Edmund?
Me, no. But I'm not dating because I don't like her personality. And I was clocking it. Yes, I told you this in the first daggone week. I clocked it from week 1 before all this happened. Remember what I said? I said, there's something about personality that ain't clocking for me. Something I dated her type. The moment I saw her on screen, the moment she started talking, I dated a Calabria before.
Trey having flashbacks.
I know what that is. And everything that happened, I saw it coming. I told you. I'm like, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. The only thing that really did surprise me was how I will say, I don't think this is a hit, but I have to say it. The only thing that actually surprised me was how she did let it affect her. So for some of her lash outs, I was like, "Yo, you're not foolish. I see what you're doing, but you getting way too caught up into this. You're getting way too caught up into this." I'm like, and that made me give her a tad bit of grace to say this. This is my grace I'm gonna give Calabria. Okay, I can see this. Listen, you came on here for a certain objective. Put them on the same objective that a lot of people come in for, increase your brand. Maybe perhaps get a little smaller brand deal. You got put into a situation that I think you recognized, but you didn't see how deep it was going to go. So, partial this is on you, partial this is on production. I think they did push you into this because it was fairly telling that you said every other chick in the pod was like, Edmund, nah, he's weird. No, not going to do it. But for some reason you did? No, somebody talked to you. You ain't going to be. Somebody talked to you. Say, hey, you know what I'm saying? We're going to take care of you on the back end. Go through the process.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel, Trey.
Yep. And in going through that process, that is how we ended up where we are with this reunion. That could have been a memo. And of course, we had more fun here in this live chat talking about it than we did, the show actually presenting itself. I think I'll keep on doing the reunions as a live watch. I think we all have a good time and we have, a good time talking to each other while we're watching it. But, Denver is in the can, as they would say in filming. It's in the can, and the can is being put on the lower shelf. Love is Blind, I need y'all to come through. I need y'all to come through. Give me Boston, Detroit, something. Give me something. You need to wow me next because I'm disappointed with Minnesota. Yes, we had one couple come out of there. Now I'm thoroughly disappointed with this season. Not a daggone wedding. I'm getting a whole lot more out of the international versions than I am the original, the US version, which, by the way, shameless plug, Love is Blind Italy starts December 1st. That is a Monday. Okay, y'all? That is a Monday. So I'm going to take my time, that week, putting out y'all reviews, or maybe I'll be just self-inflicted and throw them all out. But definitely, we are here. At 8 o'clock in 30 minutes, we're going to be back for Married at First Sight because it is wild. Episodes 5 through 7. We get even wilder with the pink lace blouses of them all. It's getting wilder. Okay? Husbands are looking at the waitress while she is taking the plate away. It is getting wild.
Oh my
Dogs are barking at your spouse, taking up room on the bed that your spouse is supposed to be on. It is getting wild on Married at First Sight. But we are coming back up in 30 minutes for Married at First Sight right here on LCID 932. Thank you all so much. We will definitely, tomorrow we have Married at First Sight UK. I'm doing that with JRX TV. Also tomorrow we have unsolicited advice. Okay. Members, this girl got caught licking the wrong lollipop at a party. It wasn't her boyfriend's lollipop. Members, that's what we're covering on Monday night at 8. And in the week, please have your notifications on. I'm going to be having a few things thrown out in the week, but definitely we're still on Married at First Sight. We're still on Married at First Sight UK and Austin. And we will be here. Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you so much, Trey. Y'all, they're going to be back. Just because Denver is done does not mean Sam and Trey ain't going to be coming through here on these live chats. But I appreciate all of you. Please make sure you hit the like, you share, you subscribe, hype up the video when you can. And I hope I will see you all at 8 o'clock in a half an hour for Married at First Sight. We're going to be doing the Caps. Thank you, Cheryl, Rosho, and all of you who say you will be here. So yes, have a great night. It was a great live, and I'll see you on the next one.